49 degrees in Portland.
For their brightness, brilliance, and beauty. If you buy now, you could save $1,000 on any 1 carat engagement ring. That's $1,000 off every 1 carat and $500 off every half carat Bernie Robbins engagement diamond. Remember, the Bernie Robbins engagement diamond is available only at Bernie Robbins Jewelers.
At City of Hope's Workout for Hope.
Your workout will make a difference
in the fight against AIDS and related cancers.
So join us in Workout for Hope.
Coming this April to a city near you.
Will the legend live or die? Saturday night at 7 on prime time. Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program with Rick Williams and Monica Malpass.
Good afternoon. Rick is off today. Rob Jennings joins us. And in the news, federal buildings nationwide step up security on the eve of a pair of ugly anniversaries.
Terrorism strikes England twice during the morning rush hour, and the Air Force is considering calling off the search for that missing A-10.
But the big story on Action News this noon is a calendar-defying snow event. It may be the 18th of April, but one look out the window and you may think it's February. In fact, Richboro, Bucks County has a winter wonderland look going for it today. The houses and lawns are covered with snow, and after a while, the slush also started to build up on some roads. The spring snow situation is so unusual, family pets aren't even sure what to make of it. Now let's go live to Sky 6. This is overlooking Winfield Heights. And again, if you look very carefully, you may be able to see a very light snow falling. And we've had a bit of rain mixed in some areas. The snow started falling about 6:30 this morning in Center City. No heavy accumulation here. You just see on a few of the rooftops a bit of snow. Most of it, though, has blown away in the city, unlike out in some of the suburbs. Meantime, in Feltonville this morning, snow was falling all around, hitting the budding trees, an unusual sight in the spring. Here along the Roosevelt Boulevard coming up, the snow was not getting in the way of the traffic. And later in Center City, the morning commute was more waterlogged than snow-covered, although the gusting winds made it a bit difficult just to stay dry. Now let's go live to Williamstown, New Jersey. This is Main Street. Again, snow is falling lightly, more like a scene out of a Currier and Ives postcard. But of course, the next big holiday is not Christmas, it's Memorial Day. So the calendar seems to be taking a couple of pages turned backwards. Now, New Jersey could get a couple of inches, 1 to 2 inches possible, and several areas are more likely to be hit. Among them, Salem, Cumberland, Atlantic, and Gloucester counties. David Murphy will have more specific information in just a moment. Meantime, in Pennsauken this morning, there was not enough snow to cancel school. The kids just had to try and make it into the building as quickly as possible. This is the Ben Franklin Elementary School. And on Main Street in Maple Shade, business as usual despite the nasty weather. Some errands just have to get done no matter what.
Now we turn to New Jersey correspondent Nora Mushanek, who is live in Mount Holly, where the flakes have been falling all morning. Nora?
Rob, does this feel like the twilight zone or what? We've got snow on the holly trees in the middle of April. It's tapered off right now. It's been snowing all morning. It's more of a rainy snow right now. But the scene in South Jersey this morning really makes you think that and feel that it's the middle of winter. Can someone please tell us what's going on here? We expect this at Christmas time, but snow this late in April? Well, that's a little weird.
This is crazy. I mean, the seasons are all mixed up. One day it's, sunny out, and now it's snowing.
I just came out and it was snowing.
What did you think when you saw it?
That's New Jersey.
The coating of wet snow in Burlington County has left the roads slushy in some spots, but driving is no problem. Snowplows are out in some towns, scraping the mess from the streets. And speaking of that, in April, you expect to hear the sound of birds singing, not snow shovels on the pavement. The heavy wet snow has taken its toll on Joe Jacobs' yard in Mount Holly.
It's on the bushes. It's broken off some branches in the backyard off the trees. The snow is so heavy, it's just bending everything down, and it eventually snaps.
His flowers are taking a beating, too. They're almost completely covered. Schools here are in session, but maintenance crews are working hard to clear sidewalks and intersections for when the kids get out. And everywhere you go, this weather has folks scratching their heads.
I think it's ridiculous. It's just out of hand. I mean, look at it. For one day it's nice, and then the next day it's just all cold and stuff and just snowing.
It's April. It's early spring. Anything can happen, and we live in New Jersey. You know, if you can live here and put up with this weather, you can live anywhere.
Isn't that the truth? Now, the Mount Holly Daffodil Festival is scheduled for this weekend. They've planted tens of thousands of daffodils all over town to celebrate spring. They may have to dig them out tomorrow, but the show will go on. Meantime, the Turnpike has reduced speed limits to 45 miles an hour between exits 4 and 7A. They apparently have some slippery conditions there. The snow won't last for long, but you still need to be careful. For now, I'm Nora Mushanek reporting live on the Action Cam from Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Thank you, Nora. So what is this all about? It is April 18th after all. We're nearly a month into spring. Let's get all the details on this morning's snowfall from AccuWeather and David Murphy, who is outside smiling. Hi, David.
Rob, I'm smiling because the precipitation on City Avenue has stopped right now, and it's looking like it's probably going to remain stopped, or we might get just a few more snowflakes or perhaps some raindrops over the next couple hours, but that'll be it. The rule of thumb is going to be that the further west you are in the viewing area, the less chance you're going to have of anything else happening. Here's Chopper 6 of the gyro cam this morning heading in toward Philadelphia. A lot of raindrops on the lens and a few wet snowflakes as well. Take a look at action radar. You'll see the storm as it came down across South Jersey and Philadelphia. You see some heavy pockets in there as well. This moisture actually coming in off the Atlantic Ocean to the northwest, or northeast, I should say, and then coming on down and swinging across South Jersey. The reason we got more snow out of this than we originally thought we were going to get is that there was cold air in the upper level atmosphere and a lot more precipitation than we originally thought. And those wet snowflakes were so numerous that they actually pulled some of the colder air from the upper atmosphere down toward the ground, and then they were able to pile up on the ground on people's lawns, and that's what you saw. April Annex underway in the way of temperatures as well. Normally we've got 63 degrees for a high today, but you'll see we'll only get to 44, and the normal low 43 will get to 36, so it's definitely going to be below normal, but there you see the record. We're a ways off of that, 25 degrees back in 1875. How long is all this crazy stuff going to last?
Imagine this is Florida, and that's Walt Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, Epcot Center, and this is Kissimmee St. Cloud, offering the closest and most affordable accommodations in the middle of Central Florida's best attractions. Call 1-800-367-KISS, and we'll send you a free vacation guide with information on affordable hotels and campgrounds. If you can stay here, why stay anywhere else? Kissimmee St. Cloud, location is our biggest attraction.
Call 1-800-367-KISS for information about a vacation in Kissimmee.
Weather. Every day it moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want, every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel. In this half hour, WeatherScope, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, TravelWise gives you the latest on travel hotspots. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, the storm update. Right now on the Weather Channel, your local forecast.
Time now for WeatherScope, and it is sponsored by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning.
Next on WeatherScope, residents of the Northeast face a day of high winds, heavy rain, and snow in the mountain areas. Meanwhile, in the plains and the Midwest, residents continue their struggle to save homes and businesses from historic flooding. Those stories, plus in-depth forecasts and analysis on this edition of WeatherScope.
Glad you could join us today. I'm Jill Brown here with Declan Cannon. We will get to the flooding misery in the Northwest, or in the Midwest actually, in a few minutes. But first off, we're talking about a nor'easter, kind of a mini nor'easter.
That's right. It's another one of these typical spring type of storms, kind of a winter wannabe in some regards. There's snow, mainly at the higher elevations, although this time you don't have to go too far up. In fact, in some cases, 500 feet elevation is just about enough in Vermont, New Hampshire, and parts of eastern New York. Speaking of New York, over in the western part of the state, these are scenes from yesterday, in fact, in the morning. The city picked up some snow, and, well, the morning commute was a little bit rough. I think the big story, though, is folks pretty much want to say, all right, enough of the winter stuff. Let's just go ahead, roll into spring, and continue the trend into summer. But the atmosphere not willing to cooperate 100%. And today, more clouds around Buffalo. Not bitterly cold, mind you. It's in the upper 30s right now, but there's enough of a wind out there. So we have wind chills running in the low 20s across parts of western New York. And you can see those clouds rotating around our storm, which is located here off the mid-Atlantic coast. There's Buffalo, but you're just on the back edge of the clouds. So let's hope there'll be some sunshine today. Certainly there's some showing up on the satellite view now. A big canopy of clouds, though, as you head into the northeastern part of the country. And we even have reports of some snow around Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is somewhat similar to the storm we had back on the 31st of March in that there's some colder air coming in on the south side of the storm. Warm air gets pulled in from the Atlantic, hence some of the rain as precipitation across the coast of Maine. And then as you work your way west into Vermont and New Hampshire, we turn it over to some very wet snow up in the hills in New Hampshire, western Massachusetts already, some accumulation. Likewise, as you head into extreme eastern New York. Center of the storm continues to push farther away. Now we may see this one move a little farther to the east and kind of a second, much weaker system on the back edge here, so it's kind of an elongated process. And this will continue to affect the Northeast today with some strong winds along the coastal communities. There's going to be quite a bit of rain with this system. Wouldn't be surprised if some areas in eastern Maine, southeast New Hampshire, and eastern Massachusetts picked up over 1.5 inches of precipitation. Through this evening, storm warnings have been posted from Eastport, Maine, all the way down to Chatham on the Cape. From that point south, you can see those gale warnings take us all the way down towards the Little River Inlet as we head towards the junction of South and North Carolina. There's your radar view. You notice the intensity of some of the rain and then the rain mixing with and changing over to snow in some of the hills. We're getting reports of some heavier snow in some of the Green Mountains here in Vermont, and then the precipitation extending all the way back to the central tier of New York. We're right at the freezing mark at Burlington, so it's a wet snow. 33 at Albany. Don't have to go too far above airport level there to catch the snowfall. And we have 37 degrees in Rochester. Over the south, a quick look at some decent weather. 50s and some 60s from Georgia heading south into northern and central Florida at this hour. It was a cool start to the day. We did have some record low temperatures underneath that dome of high pressure. And as I get out of the way here, you can see Evansville, Indiana down to 30 degrees, Atlanta down to 33, and Savannah on the coast, 40 degrees. There's the bubble of high over eastern Louisiana, and on the satellite view, we're in the clear for a good part of the day, although some low clouds skirting across southern Florida. Jill?
All right, thanks, Declan. A number of areas in the west as well as the plains could see showers and even thunderstorms today, including parts of Texas. Let's take a look first off at our threat of severe weather, and you'll see we don't have it today. Actually, we're in pretty good shape. We may get a few strong storms here and there, so we're going to watch Missouri. We're going to watch the Muggy and Rim area in Arizona, and we'll let you know if thunderstorms begin to pop. Actually, we'll check the lightning data right now, and you can see a few lightning strikes have been detected in Missouri, as well as in Minnesota. Down here in Texas, nothing yet in Arizona. We'll wait until later this afternoon. Actually, it looks like you're just about cloud-free right now. But we've had this area